Hey, hi everybody. So I'm having some tech issues this morning. So give me a little bit of time as I get this going. But today we are going to be talking about how to make a plan. So it's going to be yesterday we talked about goals. So we talked about what goals you have for learning English. And today we're going to talk about making a plan. So let me just type something really quickly. There we go. Okay. So there we go. Right. So today we're going to be talking about making goals. Yesterday we talked about making goals. Today we are talking about making a plan. So we talked yesterday about goals. Oh gosh, that's a permanent marker. Oh my gosh. There we go. Whiteboard marker. We need to make a plan. If you didn't see the video yesterday about making goals, I highly recommend that you go ahead and check that out. You can go to my YouTube channel. It's called Mona Ingling, Mona Ingling, Ingling. That is where you will find the video about making goals. And making goals is highly important because so often I have students that come to me and they say, Simone, I want to learn English. And I'm like, yeah, awesome. But how will you know that you've learned English? So we do that by making goals, and they have to be SMART goals. Okay. So all of this information, SMART goals. SMART goals, whatever, if you don't know what that is, make sure that you check out that video so you can make your goal for English. And hopefully, right, in the next 6 weeks or so, have, if not fluent, very, very close to fluent. So let me actually just share that video into the chat so that in case you want to check that video out, you can, okay? All of this stuff that I'm doing is free. So be happy, be joyous, because oftentimes it can be difficult to learn English because we're constantly like, we don't know how to, we don't know where to, blah, blah, blah. So here we go. And if you're watching this video live, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on YouTube, then make sure that you say something in the chat. Say hello. Tell me if you caught the video from yesterday or not. And so let's see. Okay. So today we're going to talk about making a plan. So to begin with, you have to have your goal. And your goal might be something like, I want to learn 100 travel phrases by February. Okay? So if this is your goal, you're going to break it down. You're going to say, what are the steps that I need to complete in order to make this happen? So the very first thing you could do would be, just search for phrases. And then the second thing you could do would be to write them out. And you might use like little sticky notes, and then you would write, where can I buy a train ticket or something like that? And then you would stick the sticky note in places around your house. And every time that you see that phrase, then you're going to say that phrase. And then you would do that for 1 week, for example, with like 10 phrases. And then you would, at the end of the week, test yourself and say, did I learn my 10 phrases this week or not, right? So that's what we need to do. We need to make a plan. So the plan depends on your goal. This is just one example, but I have students that come to me and say, for example, I have a job interview at on or next week, and I need to answer 5 questions. Okay, this is a common goal that my students come to me with. They say, "Oh, Simone, I have a job interview, or I'd like to get a better job, or I'm looking for a new job." And so this is a very common goal for people, right? Job interview. So then you would say, okay, what do I need to do? I need to research common questions. So you'd go to Google, or you would ask a teacher like me, and you would say, what kinds of questions do they ask in a job interview? And then you would write out your answers. So an example of a common question in a job interview is, what are your strengths? So then you would literally write out your answer. You would say, my strengths are, I'm a team player, I'm a smart worker, I work hard. I don't know. You would write out your answer, and then you would memorize it, so that in 1 week, when you have your interview, you literally have all of the answers just in your head. And then you're not as nervous, you're not as worried, and you feel more comfortable speaking in the moment. So if you're watching this live, or if you're coming back and you're watching this later, I want you guys to tell me, what are your goals? And then we can do a quick plan to help you reach those goals. Now, I'm not a normal English teacher, right? I will teach you speaking, I will teach you reading, I will teach you writing, etc., etc. But what I'm most interested in is that you know that you're making progress. So the very first thing I do with my students is I make them set a goal. Okay? And then the very second thing we do is we make a plan. Now, I encourage you, if you haven't seen the goals video, go to my channel, Mona Engling, or the link that I've put here on the YouTube live, and watch that video, because it will help you to make a goal. And then the next thing that I want you to do is to make a plan. So let's look at another example of making a plan. I have currently 2 students who are going to take the Cambridge exam in February. Okay, so we know when it's going to happen. We know what's going to happen, right? So now we make a plan. So they need to focus on all of the 4 parts of the exam, which are reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So now that we know they need to focus on reading, writing, listening, and speaking, and it needs to be focusing on the Cambridge exam, that's what we're going to do for the next 2 months, right? And it's really important that you stay focused. Because I also often have students that come to me and say, Simone, I want to learn English for traveling and, because it's an important language internationally and because, I could get a better job and because I want to meet new people and make new friends. Cool. But what I really, 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 really want for all of you is focus. Because focus with a goal is going to tell you, your brain and your heart, that you're making progress. That word progress means you're making something happen. And you're making something happen because you have a goal and you have a plan. And you do it and you stay focused. And the nice thing to remember is one goal is not forever, right? Okay. So one goal is usually, about 2 to 3 months. And then after 2 to 3 months, after you've had your Cambridge exam, you can move on and you can do travel English or meet new people with English or whatever, So it's important to know that goals are short term. So sometimes it can feel like, oh, but I want to learn English for travel. I want to learn English for meeting people. I want to watch television in English without subtitles. And yes, that's all wonderful, but what is relevant to your life right now? What do you need in your life? If you want to travel the world, awesome. But you don't have a job, you can't travel the world because you don't have money. So what is your first step? Get a job. And so then your goal is, get a better job. And so if you're planning on getting a better job, your goal might be create a perfect CV in 2 weeks. And then you would work on the very next thing, which would be searching templates. All of these plans will take you to your goal. I'm not an ordinary English teacher. I will teach you speaking, I will teach you writing, I will teach you vocabulary, I will teach you listening, but more than anything, I will teach you to create goals. Because there are millions of places, thousands of places where you can just learn English. But how will you know, okay, I've learned English, that's it? I've been speaking Spanish for 7 years, right? And I'm fluent, but I still make mistakes, right? So even after 7 years of learning Spanish, I still make mistakes. Can you believe? And I live in Spain. Excuse me. I live in a Spanish-speaking country, and I still make mistakes 7 years later. That is totally normal. You will never, ever, ever reach a point of perfect fluency. You will never reach a point of perfect fluency. You will never be able to say 100%, I speak English with no mistakes. Because let me tell you what, I've been speaking English for 28 years. Since I was born, I've been speaking English for 28 years. And guess what? I still make mistakes. I'm human, so I still make mistakes. There is nobody on the planet who never makes a mistake, even in their native language. So we want to get rid of that idea of, I want to speak fluently and perfectly. No, what you need is a goal. You need a goal and you need a plan. A goal will tell you you have arrived. A plan tells you how to arrive, right? Okay. Anybody in the chats want to tell me anything, any goals that they have, or just, send a little happy face. Let me know that you're here, that you're a real person, that I'm not just talking to nobody, right? Okay, so making a plan consists usually of you start with something that's called time bound. Again, if you are not familiar with what this means, watch the video about setting goals in English. But I'll briefly tell you, time bound means by a certain day. By a certain day. So if today is November 25th, perhaps you want it to be done by December 25th. Okay, doesn't matter. But when you make a plan, you're going to start with the amount of time you have. So in this case, let's say you have 1 month. You have 1 month, which means you have 4 weeks. And if your goal is to learn travel English, you want to learn 100 phrases before you travel to the UK on December 25th, then the first week I need to learn 25 phrases. On the second week, I need to learn 25 more phrases. On the third week, I need to learn 25, and so on, right? So a very good place to start when you are making your English learning plan is to start with, how much time do you have? If you have 3 months, you can break it down into months, or I like to break it down into weeks, usually, no matter what. And I don't usually suggest a goal more than 3 to 6 months. So if you have 3 months, you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks. And let's say that your plan is to pass the Cambridge exam. So then, you have to do the first week, you're going to focus on reading. Then you're going to focus on speaking. Then you're going to focus on listening. And then you're going to focus on writing, and so on and so forth, right? So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7, week 8, week 9, week 10, week 11, week 12, right? And exactly what you're doing every single week. Yes, it is boring. It is boring to learn English like this. The fun way is to just join a bunch of groups and chat and blah, 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 and et cetera, et cetera. But this is what will really, really, really give you the skills that you need in English. A goal and a plan. A goal and a plan. All right. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. What I would really like, if you're watching this live, hi, honey. If you're watching this live, I would love for you guys, or if you're watching this later, I would love for you guys to put your goals in the chat box. Because if you put your goals in the chat box, I will go back and I will help you make a plan. So let's see here. I actually have somebody, so let's see if this person wants to come out on the camera. Okay, let's see if this person wants to come out on the camera. And if you put your goals in the chat box, I will help you to make a plan. And we will make a plan that fits your goals. And I will help you make sure that your goal is correct, right? So, apart from that, in the description box below, there is a free PDF. It's called How to Move from Intermediate to Advanced in 6 Weeks. And it talks about goals and it talks about making a plan. So exactly what I've talked about today, but it's a PDF and it's free. And you can sign up for that using the link in the description box below. Or if you're on Facebook, I will pop that into the comments very shortly for you. So another thing that I need you guys to do, because tomorrow we're going to be doing even more work. And I'm a very special teacher, so be there or be square. That's a lovely phrase. Be there or be square. It means be there. So if you are watching live on Facebook, hit the subscribe on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell, because you will be notified when I go live and you can watch the next video, which is very, very important. We're going to be talking about how to break down your plan and what you need to focus on. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. And sorry for all of the tech issues. It's just, I don't know, tech. Bye.